walking on the streets in Stockholm, a grey, rainy day, walking by one of my favorite art stores, looking in the windows and looking at art books and pictures, and wow, I can do that. Why don't I do it? This is what I have been given. Nobody told me, because one of the main things with my choice of artwork is that it has a very deep cultural and spiritual tradition. So that puts it in a totally different context. I'm not just doing art for the sake of art. I'm doing it to convey something deeper. You don't find it out there, you find it in your heart.
Hare Krishna, everybody. The following is the first episode in a series of episodes that I was planning already for a long time. It's called Meeting the Devotees of Alachua. And in this episode, we're going to meet Annapurna. She lives here in Alachua, and she is an extraordinary devotional artist. Together, we're going to be asking her about her challenges, her life, her devotional and spiritual journey. Let me know down in the comments how did you like this video, and if you're looking for more interviews and videos in this series. Also, if you're interested to contact Annapurna, make sure you follow the link down in the description.
This was my first piece I did in 93.
Wow, that's the very first painting.
Yeah.
Wow. And the Emerson Prize, is it you received the prize for this painting?
Yeah, it was. I lived in Philly, and it was. I don't remember the name of the museum. It was I lived in the Philadelphia Temple. When this was a piece that I did when I went to art college, and I put it there in an art exhibit. A juried art exhibit, so it got the prize.
Favorite is the.
Yeah, we can do that one. I can say something about that one. I don't know if I would have done this one, but it was one devotee. He wanted to have a few pieces for a book. He's from Latvia or Lithuania, I don't remember. So I did this for his book, this painting, and it was fun to do the composition because I had never painted snakes before. So and to make the Kaliya snake look really angry and wanting to kill Krishna, and he's just gracefully dancing like just room.
So this is where all the magic happens.
Yes.
How long have you been working from here for?
We moved here 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Yeah. And this is a converted garage. It was like this when we came here.
These are the upcoming.
Yeah. These are my upcoming. I want to do 2 pictures about Gopal Krishna because to me it's very endearing to have a faith with the Supreme Person who protects cows, because that's like the basics of an agricultural economy, and that's like the basis of this ancient Vedic culture was cow protection.
Yeah, your paintings, they portray that.
Yeah, I like cows. I lived on a Hare Krishna farm for 16 years, and we had cows there.
In one particular farm, or?
Yeah, no, it's a Hare Krishna farm.
Yeah.
There is only one Hare Krishna farm in Sweden.
In Sweden specifically.
Yeah, in Sweden, outside of Stockholm.
Hare Krishna, everybody. We're here with Annapurna Devi, and some of you seen her work. I personally seen her work on Facebook and social media. It's been shared by so many devotees, and I realized that now when I'm staying here in Alachua, I live so close to her, and I was thinking, why not to make an interview and introduce you, Annapurna, to my audience, and let you share a little bit about the process of your creative work and And what brought you? I guess you were an artist already before you came to Krishna consciousness, or it's something that you picked up like along the way, living in a temple. And
Most of my time in the moment, I didn't do any art. I think I was an artist my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I dabbed, but I was just a confused teenager, not knowing what to do with my life. A little bit confused, looking for options.
So you were not an artist before you actually joined the temple.
I was like in my early 20s, and I hadn't developed a career yet. I had only taken art classes and always had an inclination to do art.
And when like the idea of like really pursuing that seriously came about, because you mentioned I think about the contest that you won in Philadelphia when you were living in a temple.
Yeah.
And did you like pursue? When did you like start pursuing a career really in that?
Well, that was not until I joined like 79, 78, and it wasn't until like early 2000.
So it took
because there were so many things to do, and I'm capable. I can cook, and we didn't have a big congregation at that time, so I was out and selling things, to support temples.
Yeah, you were basically like a regular temple devotee for a very long time, and it didn't allow you to really explore the gifts that Krishna really gave you in this lifetime.
No.
And then at some point it just like burst out of you. You said around 2000 you started pursuing.
Yeah, it was a little bit earlier. Like one of the first paintings that I show you, that was 92. So that was like a beginning. And it's been quite much, like soul searching. It's not like always. Some people have quite straight paths in life. I never had, so it just happens. Things happens, and I kind of go with the flow.
It was just like one of the things that you're already pursuing or you felt inspired by, and then at some point you decided to.
Yeah, I felt that, well, as you said, this is something that I had within myself, and I felt all along that I can do something, and this is how I would like to. Naturally, any artist, we want to express ourselves, and like me, I'm a visual artist, fine artist, so that's how I love to express myself. I'm quite useless in, we live in a media world now, it's so much about, internet and Instagram and connecting with people. I'm not so good at that, so what do I want to give to the world? And of course it has always been a little bit like, if I pursue what I like to do, which is my talent, but it seems like a little bit selfish to do artwork, but I have pondered this a lot, instead of, there are some people, because it's, I think almost all of us, we have this tendency that we feel that we like to help, and there are many people who are in a position who needs help, and how do I help people? By doing my artwork, But one of the main things with my choice of artwork is that it has a very deep cultural and spiritual tradition. So that puts it in a totally different context. I'm not just doing art for the sake of art.
Mm.
I'm doing it to convey something deeper.
Mm. Yeah, it's like it's your process basically in within Krishna consciousness, within your spiritual path.
Yeah, it's the process within my spiritual path that helps me also to connect to God and feel inspired. I think it's important that if I would do something, I think it's important to all of us that we at least have some areas in our life where we feel that we can, feel inspired. I mean, otherwise, how can you live if everything you have to go to a boring job or, so much problems and struggles?
Yeah.
What do I like to do? Where do I feel inspired? Where can I grow? And go with it,
Yes. Yeah, you found it to be really something that can uplift you on your path and keep being inspired. And I was wondering in the same time how, like in terms of how it started, did someone suggest you to go to pursue that, or it's just something from within that one day you decided, I'm gonna go and do art for the rest of my life?
No, it was like, walking on the streets in Stockholm, a grey, rainy day, walking by one of my favorite art stores, looking in the windows and looking at the art books and pictures, and wow, I can do that. Why don't I do it? This is what I have been given. Nobody told me, because I'm not a shy person, but I'm a bit introverted, and at that time, I was even more introverted. So I never told anybody, and there didn't seem to be any place for doing art.
There are no facilities.
And also especially I wasn't like trained as an artist. Like the artwork I have done with Sita's Fire, that's my education. I mean, I have a 2-year art foundational program, but that's not like learning illustration and the kind of art that I like to do. That's something I'm self-taught.
Yeah, it really sounds like the inspiration came from within you.
Yeah.
And you had to push yourself along the way, and you still are. You said you're all the time learning, and you're still going forward in your.
Yeah, that's the beauty, It's like that's what makes it exciting. Still learning. There is so many possibilities for growth and challenges, and I like that. I don't like to stay on a plateau where life is just every day the same. That's no fun.
And I was wondering, how do people usually, like you mentioned that sometimes different clients, they will like reach out to you, they would ask for a specific like illustration, or they would choose from like a catalog of paintings. Like, how do usually people find out about you?
Yeah, as I said, I'm not much of an outgoing person.
Yeah.
I wish I had some, because basically I'm getting older. I have 3 grandkids. And of course now I don't interact so much with them because of the pandemic. And just the thought of marketing, I have been, like trying to go into marketing and see what I can do, but it's like, I don't want to do this. If somebody helped me, I could probably do more. As for now, I don't have much.
So it's really...
I don't even have a website.
I personally found about you through, I've seen your artwork here in Gainesville and Alachua, but at some point I started seeing people forwarding each other like paintings of yours on social media.
Okay.
And then I thought, this looks very similar to the paintings, because I used to be a tattooist, and I would do actually watercoloring too, like aquarelle and watercolors. And I sort of noticed that it's very similar to what I've seen, and I started thinking, is that the same Annapurna that I know from Alachua? And one thing led to another, and yes, it is, and devotees are very fascinated by the work, and it seems that it goes from word to mouth, so to speak. at this point.
Yeah, that's basically how it. Or I didn't do any Krishna paintings during this time because it took so much of my energy, you know, to do the artwork.
Only Ram.
Yeah. And
you miss
Ravana
Krishna.
and Ravana. Yeah, I do. So in between here, I like to do. I have a few compositions that's almost done. That I look forward to work with. And after being finished with because the Sita's Fire trilogy artwork, it was in the back of my mind for years, you know.
A constant meditation on Sitaram's pastimes.
Yeah, but also, you know, like I have to do it instead of, oh, this will be fun to do. Because I had to complete a certain. Well, nobody told me, but you know,
there are expectations.
Sometimes we have expectations of ourselves. You know, maybe we are our own slave drivers sometimes. But it's interesting you said that you have been dwelling a little bit into tattoo art.
Yeah, before I joined the temple. And
I love tattoo art. There are some amazing tattoo artists. You know, it's like, wow. Because I'm a little bit drawn to these outlines and simplicity, you know. I don't think I ever, you know, I mix a lot of influences because I look so much at pictures and art, and I mix it. I never think I will be like an expressionist or an impressionist or like painting landscape and the light and you know, I don't think I will ever go in that directions because I kind of like art as a kind of, you know, storytelling in one sense. Yeah. Or inspiring somebody. That's how I like to inspire people. And I think we need a lot of inspiration because it seems like the world is a very confusing place now.
Yeah, and the inspirations usually we get are very, very narrow, I find, very shallow, not enough depth. And these beautiful stories and episodes from Krishna or Ram, they so connect us to so much depth in our own self.
Yeah, you know, our culture here, I wish to contribute to the cultural expansion of this kind of culture and art because, you know, our societies here in the West, it's based on the Judeo-Christian tradition, which is, it has a beginning and an end, and as far as it goes, it's like we have the Greek stories, but you know, if you could add the Ramayana and the Krishna stories and so many stories and such depth and such wisdom, you know, like here in the West, like yoga has become very popular. This is the basis of that culture, the yoga culture. It comes from this tradition, you know. So, because sometimes it's like, what is the relevance of people? They don't even know anything what it is. Why do I do this? There is like so little audience. But on the other hand, it's fun to do something that's not so usual. It's fun to do something different. Why not?
Yeah.
I've always been like that, you know, like, yes.
It feels very, I get you as like very purposeful in that regard, that you attract people to the most attractive, Krishna.
Yeah.
Which means the all attractive person, right?
And, you know, I don't feel it myself. Regarding my spiritual path, regarding what I'm supposed to do with the rest of my life, I'm not confused. It's like so clear. The main thing is like, as the body's aging, you know, I have to take care of my health. That takes a time and energy, which is not so nice, but if you don't do it, it's important to do because your body is your vehicle. on this journey here on. Yeah.
I was thinking to, as we come to closure, to ask you, because I'm sure there are so many artists who are like perhaps wondering how to start to do devotional art. Already they're doing some devotional art or spiritual art, and perhaps I think they would really benefit from someone who is already doing that service, and something that will be inspirational for them to hear from you.
Yeah, let's see here. I can only talk from my own experience. One of the main inspirations from me in life, I like beautiful things. I like beauty in all its forms, and Krishna is the most beautiful person, and I could perceive that in my heart from the beginning, and that's what I wanted to convey. And all these eternal relationships we can have with God. So, what I do, I have my own like visions and ideas, and I even go to comic artists, which are so good at expressing bodies in motion and facial expressions. They are probably one of the best artists in that area, So I kind of go anywhere to find references, and well, the one main thing, if you want to start with this, don't start with too complicated things. Simple.
I think I remember Prabhupada, he once said that Krishna consciousness is so simple you might miss it.
Yeah, but then it's super complicated too.
Nice. Yeah, simplicity.
Yeah, simplicity. So start sketching. Do some like some of my first. I had started when I lived on the farm to do this art, and then I went to live like 5 months in Vrindavan, and I had this. I did drawing and this ink outline drawings every day when we were sitting at class. That's what I did, So doing something like to paint a large painting like the ones that you showed, it's a lot of energy and time, and maybe not everybody but has that time and energy. But to do simple pencil drawings, and this, like, one of my main challenges is to be organized, because I have a certain procedure how I develop my compositions, and I keep most of my sketches, because if I, for instance, like here, if I do a bird like this is in one of my paintings. I could use it in another painting, and I have so many of these. I have tried to. I put them in categories to be a little bit organized, but sometimes it's not so easy.
Thank you so much, Annapurna, for
Thank you.
showing us around and giving a glimpse into the life of a Krishna conscious artist.
Yes, I would like to just wish you who are looking and listening to this I wish you good luck. It's all you need. You find it in your own heart. You don't find it out there, you find it in your heart.
First in your heart.
Yeah.
Thank you, Annapurna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think my favorite thing about your artwork from what I felt is like the colors. They're so vivid and alive.
No, I use lots of layers, so it became rich. That's the thing.
It's rich.
Yeah, because sometimes watercolors you can just put in light washes and it becomes like more pastel-y.
Yeah.
But most of these large pieces, layers
Yeah.
to make the deck.
Especially the blues. You have very...
Blue is the most amazing color.
Is that your favorite, blue?
Yeah.
Like Krishna.
Yeah, because it's the color that has the most spectrum of all the colors.
The blue.
Different shades of blue, you know. No other color has such a spectrum of different tones and shades, you know. Like the blue.
Thank you, Annapurna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Have a good day.